Hi, everybody. This is Rusty Walker for the Big 94.5 Country. Thanks for joining us on our virtual StreamYard interview. I'm so excited about having the president of Kansas Fencing in our studio. He's also the president of the studio because Kansas Fencing has been sponsoring our studio for the month of February. And there he is, Mr. Dirk Henderson. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here.
Well, I'm so glad that you are giving us some time today. I want to know more about Kansas fencing. How did you get started in the fencing business?
Well, it was just my wife and I, Julie and I started in the fence business in 1998. I think we were 19 years old or something like that. It was just her and I when we started, and we've grown the business. I think we've got over 50 employees now, full-time employees anyway. So 3 locations. We've grown it a lot over the years, so it's been quite a journey.
Well, I think of you as a young man thinking, oh, I'm going to start my own fencing business. That was quite a lot to bite off, don't you think?
It was. I was playing baseball at Washburn and going to school, and well, I was enrolled in school. I wasn't going to a lot of classes, so that's when I started our first fence company, and I ended up just getting enough work, little by little, to end up. I didn't finish school, and that's kind of how we got started. And I sold that first fence company a couple years later, and then started Kansas Fencing in 2003. So we're celebrating 20 years this year.
Oh, congratulations. So, as a business owner now, what would you tell the younger Dirk that was just starting out owning his own business? What advice would you give to him?
Well, take things slow. Don't try to go too fast. I remember when I first started, I'd want to get every single job, and it's better to do a little bit more work and then getting every job to do, and just make sure you're making a little bit of profit on all of them. And that's worked good for us. Not trying to get too big too fast, but that's probably what I would tell myself, to just take it easy and go slow.
So, Kansas Fencing is located mainly here in Topeka, but really you serve Northeast Kansas. And, well, what other surrounding areas do you do fencing for?
Our main office is in Topeka, in North Topeka. We also have a branch in Kansas City that's not too far from the Kemper Arena. So obviously we serve the Kansas City metro area out of that office. The Topeka office basically serves from about St. Mary's to Lawrence, and from the Nebraska line even all the way down to the Oklahoma line. And then we have our west branch in Manhattan, that's out there by the airport. We bought out Tri-City Fence, who'd been in business for I think 48 or 49 years, right there at that same location. And we bought them out 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a great addition to our company. So we're very competitive from Salina to Kansas City, basically, and all the way from Nebraska to Oklahoma.
That is a lot. I didn't realize that. I'm glad you were telling us that. Wow, you guys do a lot. Now, when you think of a fence, I know when I think of a fence, I think of a big privacy fence, like a backyard fence. What kind of fence do you think of when someone says, "Hey, I need a fence"? What's the first idea that comes to your mind?
Well, the very first fence I ever built was a chain link fence, and that's still the biggest, the most popular type of fence because it's so economical. We do hundreds of thousands of feet of chain link fence every year. So that would be the first one that comes to mind. But we do all kinds of fence. We do farm fence. We do a lot of ornamental aluminum fence around backyards. We're the largest supplier of Alumigard ornamental fencing in the state of Kansas. We still do a lot of wood fences. We do any kind of fence, but the chain link would be the one we do the absolute most of.
Well, a fence can absolutely change the look of a property. You go by a beautiful piece of land, and if there is a nice fence going down the row, I just find that so beautiful, especially here in the Midwest.
Yeah, some people will say that adding a fence to your property may increase the property value. I mean, honestly, I don't know, talk to a realtor about that, but I guarantee what it will do is it's the first thing people see. A lot of times it's the first thing people see. So if you got a dilapidated fence that's fallen down or something that just doesn't flow or look good, that's the first thing people see. So by sprucing up your property with a new fence, it's usually on the top of a list of somebody that's trying to just get a nicer curb appeal.
curb appeal. You just hit the nail on the head right there. How do people get a hold of you if they're undecided about what kind of fence I want? I kind of want a fence, but I don't know which way to go. Do you have people consulting your clients about what fence would work best for their property?
We do. What I'd recommend, people go to our website first. You can kind of scroll around there and see what we have to offer. But yeah, then we do a free estimate, a free consultation where we have salespeople that will come to your home or business and give you recommendations. We're going to want to know, what are you trying to accomplish with the fence? Are you looking for privacy? Are you looking for security? Are you just looking to beautify your yard? Then we can tell you what we would recommend and try to get you something that accomplishes what you want, and try to get you in something that's economical, and we're not going to try to upsell you and try to get you something more than you want. So we want to get you something that's going to serve the needs and do it as economically as we can for you.
Well, it's so nice to hear that your company is all about serving the needs of the clients. And Kansas Fencing has been such a big part of this year's St. Jude Radiothon. And we thank you so much for being part of that. It's taking care of the needs of children throughout the world with St. Jude when you sponsor. And you guys were such a big part of that. Tell us how you got involved with the St. Jude Radiothon.
Well, I first heard about St. Jude through 94 Country. That's the station I usually have my dial turned to in my pickup. And, we gave a little bit, 1 year, and the next year we gave a little bit more. And all of us come from different backgrounds, different political views, just different ways of life. But something we can all team up on is helping sick kids. And, I was fortunate to have healthy kids, and I was a healthy person. But my wife is going through breast cancer right now, and her mother had breast cancer. I could not imagine having a child that tearing up here, but I couldn't imagine having a child that's going through that. And so if we can help in that manner, we're happy to do it.
And you know what, Dirk? You absolutely did. You absolutely did. Not just monetarily, but by your support of St. Jude. You help spread the word. That's part of it. The more people know about St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, the more people will give, because it is a great cause. And the research that's done in Memphis is shared freely throughout the world to every doctor, every hospital, every clinic. And you don't hear that in the medical world very much. People do research and then they put a price tag on it. But at St. Jude, they know that children need this, and they can't put a price tag. They would never charge the knowledge that they have gained to share. Why would they hold that back when a sick child across the world might need it? That's what I love so much about St. Jude. So you absolutely have made a difference. And as far as other loved ones going through cancer treatment, that's the other great thing. Wonderful treatment and medical treatment treating symptoms have come from St. Jude, from nausea to hair loss to stuff like that. St. Jude does the research and then shares it freely. So even if you have a person in your life that's not a child going through cancer, they are definitely benefiting from some of the research that's done in Memphis with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So we thank you for that. That's wonderful. Well, It's so good to know that you, of course, love kids and that you have a beautiful family too. You and I share a lot of the same friends, and you know what it's like to be involved in community. And Kansas Fencing has stepped up.
Thank you. We're glad to be a part of it.
Okay, so one more time, if somebody wants to know more about Kansas Fencing, I absolutely encourage them to give you guys a call, because a fence can really change your property. And again, you might need it for security. You might have a dog that keeps getting out, or maybe it's a dog that keeps getting in. I don't know. For me, it's livestock too. I want to make sure those fences are nice and secure. How do they get a hold of your team at Kansas Fencing?
I think the best way is to go to our website. That's kansasfenceco.com. You can always call us, but you can get our contact information there for our 3 different locations. Take a look at what we have to offer. Sign up for a free consultation. We'll come out. We'll give you our opinions of what we'd recommend.
Okay. Once again, it's been a joy having you in the studio with us today and throughout the month of February, sponsoring our studio, Kansas Fencing Studio. We love that. And thank you so much for being involved in community. It says a lot about your company and a lot about you, Dirk, and your family being the president of the company. So again, we thank you.
All right. Thank you.